where we talked to one of our guests, Kathryn Born of the Chicago Art Magazine, who is going to be talking to us a little bit more, not just the arts, but how we've integrated it even beyond in technology. Kathryn.
Sure. Well, I have a handful of sites. I have Chicago Art Magazine, and then on the screen is Chicago Art Map. And it's an umbrella of sites because we're aiming to have a hub. So if you're looking for arts and culture information in Chicago, you can have one spot and find a wide array of things. Chicago Art Magazine has lots of articles. We post about 2 articles every day. But what we discovered we needed is that there used to be big listings of every art gallery in Chicago when they had an opening. And as the print publications started cutting their budget, they started cutting these lists, and there became nothing comprehensive. And my feeling, having a background in technology, is that we needed to utilize technology and the fact that we could have a huge number of openings listed, and because it's on the internet, it doesn't take up paper, it doesn't take up lots of ink and a big truck to carry these big heavy papers. So instead of doing a traditional model of listings, we created a database and we put the whole thing on a Google map. And my feeling about, because you guys were talking about information, that there's so much of it, how do you work with it? So our theory was that we're going to take tons of information and make it, I always say, searchable, sortable, filterable, and categorizable.
Wow.
And those are my 4 pillars, because like if we were doing dance, so do you want to separate ballet from contemporary? Do you want to find a place that's within a few blocks of a particular area? So that's what we did with the Chicago Art Map, is we made it a map that you can look at it in all these different ways. So, and take tons of data. We have thousands of things on the map, but so it's searchable.
The future is now. I mean, what we're talking art, we're talking how to get to it. We can go, as Tamara said, in our pocket, or we can get on the computer, and we're going to put in a few words, and up comes. We're going to do the search engine optimization, or this idea that it's at our fingertips.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what you're working on doing.
Right, and it's a struggle. I mean, we utilize every tool in the toolbox. It's little things like we use Facebook extensively. We push everything out through Facebook, and we get hundreds of people who check it out within minutes of releasing the information. And we use Twitter and a site called Stumbled Upon. So we're making a marketing platform for our writers, and we take their content and we shove it out and try to get the biggest audience for it that we can.
Yeah, state of the art.
Well, we try.
Yeah,
we try.
That's where we're at.
Kathryn, what made you decide to do something like this?
Well, because it's easier. I mean, I think what the misconception is...
Was there something lacking that you saw?
Yeah, there wasn't anything comprehensive. And then people had an idea to do something like that was going to cost thousands of dollars and this whole thing. And for me, being in technology, I mean, I would say this, but we really built that entire map system for under $1,000. Wow. People don't think that's possible. You can find people overseas through websites. We had Thor from Siberia. And no, seriously, his name is Alexander Schwartzman in real life, but he goes by Thor. And so we worked with Thor, and he, Siberia, the cost of living is low. So he's probably, built a mansion based on his $1,000 that he made. But yeah, for $1,000, he built the whole thing. And just one quick technical note, it's on Google Map. And so the Google Map part's already built, and you're doing it on top of an existing thing.
But the neat thing is, even though Thor may be in Siberia and people from England, but they could tap in when they come to Illinois or Chicago, some of the arts and culture that they could do here. So it's amazing how global everything is getting.
Yeah.
Where you can find employees or people to do things for you across the ocean.
Right. It is amazing. Right.
And do you find yourself really being a consultant of hope to people that technology is not impossible?
Well, it is, I do feel for people. A lot of people are really overwhelmed by it. It is really confusing. It is fairly daunting. And how you get started with these things is tricky. So actually what I started with the Chicago Art Magazine is at the top, there's a little tab that says transparency. And so then I started writing about behind the scenes of how we build these sites and some of these philosophies and how we market. And so we tried to kind of help the next person.